Yeah, Arno Penzias, who shared the Nobel Prize for Physics for the discovery of the cosmic background radiation, he said this: astronomy leads us to a unique event, a universe which was created out of nothing, one with the very delicate balance needed to provide exactly the conditions required to permit life, and one which has an underlying, one might say, supernatural plan.
Yeah, he's making two key points here, that the universe has to be created by some causal agent outside of matter, energy, space, and time. But he's not just a deistic God, he's a theistic God, and that he's intimately involved in crafting the universe after he creates it so that humans can enter and fulfill their eternal destiny.
I've got another quote here that I find very, very interesting. In A Brief History of Time, which was the 1991 documentary about Stephen Hawking, Hawking's colleague and distinguished mathematician Roger Penrose commented, "I would say the universe has a purpose. It's not there just somehow by chance."
Well, it shows you what's happened in the community of cosmologists, in that there's now a desire to talk about the philosophical implications. Stephen Hawking and Roger Penrose, who combined to write the first of the space-time theorems, actually taught a class at Cambridge University where they alternated, but it was a debate. And so you have Stephen Hawking defending a deistic interpretation of the universe, and you got Roger Penrose defending a theistic interpretation. Neither were believers, but one was arguing for an impersonal God, the other was arguing for a personal God, and actually wound up publishing a book that documents what happened in their course.
Give you another one. Hawking and Penrose colleague George Ellis made the following statement in a paper delivered at the Second Venice Conference on Cosmology and Philosophy. I don't know if you were there. Were you there?
No, I wasn't there, no.
Okay. The quote is, "Amazing fine-tuning occurs in the laws that make this complexity possible. Realization of the complexity of what is accomplished makes it very difficult not to use the word miraculous without taking a stand as to the ontological status of that word." They were talking about the design in the world.
They were. And a story about George Ellis, he's an astrophysicist. He walked into the wrong lecture hall at a conference. There's a lecture hall on nutrition and diet. But as he was listening there, he realized, wow, there are certain proteins in the human body that depend crucially on the uncertainty principle of quantum mechanics. And he walked out saying, even the uncertainties in the universe have to be fine-tuned to make our existence possible.
Yeah. Here's one that blew my mind when I read it, and I had to read it a couple times. Stephen Hawking himself conceded this: it would be very difficult to explain why the universe should have begun in just this way, except as an act of God who intended to create beings like us.
And you can extend that principle to our super galaxy cluster, our galaxy cluster, our local group of galaxies, our galactic arm that we're in, local bubble, local fluff. It's designed all the ways, not just at the level of the universe. And that's where I'm hoping that my peers will actually begin to consider just how ubiquitous this design is.
Yeah, cosmic